All right. Episode 10. This is going to be like a summary issue because I'm not sure what else to do, and that kind of makes sense. And every time I'm like never sure what I say. Um, this is super hard and awkward to do, but I feel like I have to try. I feel like I have to try to build these relationships because I think it'll help the kids. The more people I talk to, I think it'll help the kids that I coach and teach. So I was thinking to do this is like pick a topic and like summarize it and ask a question and then maybe have a hot take. Um, so the first thing I wrote is about like kids and their performance. Like our kids are much more than numbers, right? And so the question is if like college if college wasn't on the table, if playing sports in college wasn't on the table, would our kids still play? The other question would be like, where is your line for what people say on the sidelines? Um, and then like the hot take there is like our kids think they're numbers. We often like classify them as numbers. But like there's like who cares? Right? So I don't know what the hot take. Maybe this is gonna go off the rails because it's hard for me to do anything in try whatever. But like all I want is for Rory and Dylan to be independent and kind. So when I get caught up in a score and a number that represents them, I have to try and recenter my like I have to figure that out, right? Like all we want is our kids to be healthy and happy. Again, mine are independent and kind. I don't hopefully people will respond to this and explain to me like what your values or golden rules are at the house. But like all I want is for my kids to be good humans. All I want is for like when they have kids, if they decide to have kids, I want to be involved, right? I want to be friends with my kids. And none of that has to do with numbers. And frankly, the numbers just get in the way, right? Like when I'm judging them or they're judging themselves about a number, they're not their best selves, right? Same with screens and social media, right? Like we have us as a society have accepted that our kids have like bullies in their pocket, that they have like an addictive popularity concert, like they talk about how it's like the same thing as a casino. Like we have put that in our kids' pockets. So like my question is that something we really want to do? Right? And do we really understand? Again, I have a big concern that like the data is behind, right? So data is already really bad, I think, on what social media does to our kids, both like changing their brain and the amount of bullying and all these things, their access, they lose the ability to reflect. We talked about all these, but like, I think that like someone should convince me like why I should allow, like we need to switch that, right? Instead of it being the norm, the societal norm that a kid gets a phone, like, how about someone explains to me what's the benefit of my kid having a screen in their pocket? And then what's the benefit of my kid being on social media? I'm doing this. Hopefully, this is like me using social media. Um, but like instead of like it just being the baseline, can we flip it and be like, why do we need this? Like, why does a kid need like 10,000 bullies, 10,000 reasons to be less than a device that like doesn't allow them to stick with problems and wrecks their brain? Like why? Like, and it can't just be the norm. Like, it can't just be like the default is we get it. How about we make the default like, tell me why? Like, why would I ever do this? And I need people to help explain to me. So we can talk about that. Um, the words, I did a whole thing on words because I don't understand how and where and why we can use those. I can tell you like all the times, like think about how about this is the question. Think about like what's the worst thing you were ever called? Right? Or what's the worst thing, like your worst memory? And I bet it's not like a swear word. Like someone wasn't like you, F word, C word, blah blah blah. It's like it's different than that. So I don't know what we do those words. Um, and then like how serious do you take the words I take, right? Like am I right or wrong? Like weird, no good for me. N word, no good for me. And I'm sorry if I'm putting those in the same category. I don't mean to dismiss the history of the N word by doing that, but my point is the F word, the S word we can say. Words about sexual orientation. Are they all no good? What do we think? Are they good in different? Are they okay in different settings? Are they good with love and not with hate? And I'm not sure. Um, so obviously, like moms carry way more than we know, right? I wrote a book about this. Um, like, again, my journal, but like tried to phrase it in a way where it's my commentary on the female mental load through my journey of like being an idiot panda husband. I broke down talking about my mom, realizing like how hard it is to raise middle school kids, how hard it is to be 41 and not have time to see your spouse, how hard it is to not have time to hang out with your friends. um, but like moms and women carry so much. So my question is like, do we acknowledge that enough? If you're a kid listening to this, if you're a man listening to this, and maybe it's the other way, we can just put it on spouses. Like the numbers, whatever. I feel like that's one of those like oversensitive things. Don't come at me telling me about how hard a man's life was. Today we were joking at lunch about like being pregnant and how easy that must be. I can't even say that out loud, right? Like, but the world is very hard for women. We know that. Um, Obviously, like there's no book for this, right? Like none of us like know what we're doing. So a question I'd love to ask is, what is your like what I miss, right? Like what is your biggest parenting challenge question? How can I share my feelings and get hopefully other people too? That's the goal. I think we build these relationships through authentic conversations. How do we talk to our kids? How do we bring our kids to this conversation? And how do we get their real thoughts? I don't know if I'm gonna have to have kids here. Like again, I keep saying like here, like I have a podcast studio or something. But like, can I get kids to come on anonymously? Can I get kids to come on? Kids that graduated a long time ago and share their experiences at Medfield and Wellesley or wherever your kids grow up, and like what we were doing that was really bad, like what hurt them. And maybe it's got to be anonymous. Like one of the trickiest parts of this whole thing is like making sure I don't hurt Rory and Dylan. Like I need to talk about this stuff. I need to get better. I need to build relationships and I need to figure out the best thing to do for the 150 kids I'm saying goodbye to in a week and the 150 I'm going to get next September. But so I need to do this, and I think if I make a mistake and say something I shouldn't about Rory and Dylan or Mego, like I think they'll forgive me. They know I'm doing this out of love, right? I just want to be better, and it's all I think about. I obsess over it. They hear me talk about this stuff all the time. Um, but like no one knows what they're doing. This is so hard. So what's the hardest thing for you? What do you do? Have you made any gains with hard things with parenting or with you and your job? Like what do you do? And how can we talk about it as a community? How can we talk about these things and build relationships around them? I think the changing your mindset. I think the word would be, is it like gratitude or having a positive outlook? Again, I have smallest vocabulary in the world trying to do this. Sorry, Roy and Dylan, about the genes. Um, but like training to think about things positively is a skill that we have to work on, just like we have to help our kids that are athletes. Just like what matters is how fast they recover from a mistake, right? Arguably might be the most important thing, right? And for us too, right? Like how do we get over something that wasn't pleasant? um, and working on that skill. I think working on the skill of thinking positively. The line I use for Rory and Dill that they throw in my face all the time if we go to a new restaurant or if they try new food is just like, this might be the best thing you've ever had. No, I was like, panda. But like, if we look at life like that as a new opportunity as the best thing, or those chores that I hate, like as like something you're doing for someone else or taking off someone's plate, not like it's like Mego's job, but that's clear, whatever. Um, but so my ending question is like, what type of adults are we trying to raise? Like, what is our goals? And I think I talked to, I think whatever, it was episode 7. Like, what are your goals for your kids? Um, I shared my goals, me and Mego's goals for our kids, but it's like I don't think any of them are going to be about GPA or like taking an AP class or like what college they get into. But is it? Like it is. I mean, it is in our society, but would you say that out loud? and do like, yeah, I guess it's just like, I think my ending of this is like, what kind of people are we trying to raise, right? Like, what do we want our kids to be? And I don't know, right? Like, I have my ideas, right? I've shared my philosophy, but I need yours because I'm raising your kids too, right? It takes a village. Chatham was a village, right? I was raised by so many adults, and so many of crazy fun memories and bad memories and all these things with so many kids. Um, but I think it's like, what kind of kids do we want to raise? And I don't, I mean, some of, it's going to be like getting to the best college is the thing, right? That's why we do all these numbers. But like, do you really care? Do I really care? Do I care what grade they get? Do I care what soccer team they're on? Like, in the moment, I do, and I make mistakes. I think we all do. But I think the last question that I want to talk about is like, what are your goals? What kind of humans are we trying to raise? And it's like none of that has to do with numbers, right? Again, I want Rory and Dylan, Mego and I want Rory and Dylan to be independent and kind. That's not a number. That's me modeling that behavior. That's Mego modeling that behavior. That's my friends modeling that behavior. That's my kids' teachers. Everybody they learn from has to act in a way where they encourage them to be independent, so they allow them to fail and fall, and they're always kind, right? Because if we're just kind to each other, we can have difficult conversations, right? I hope this goes. Like I hope people want to talk to me and have conversations about these things, try to help me answer these questions so I can be better for their kids. If this gets into harder conversations, I'm here for it, right? Like I don't have that much. I was just gonna say I don't have that much figured out, but I have right now. I have like these goals, right? These goals, like for my kids and for myself, might change, right? They may change tomorrow. They might change next week. They might change after I get to talk to my 300 followers. Um, but right now, I have goals, and it makes me happy. Like I'm still like lost trying to help young people, but like I have a little bit of a plan. I just want to know what other people's plans are, right? Because then I can do better. Um, but yeah, I guess that's the question I'll end it on is like, what kind of humans are we trying to raise? And does any of that have to do with numbers? Does any of that have to do with the sports teams they're on? Um, can someone convince me why we have social media, like why we allow social media? Um, but that's it. So the first one was way too long. Hopefully people listen to it. Hopefully they listen to it at like 2x speed. I was trying to go around 20 minutes. I think a bunch of these episodes are between 15 and 20 minutes. So this one will be a little under. We'll keep it short. But that's the question. Like, what kind of humans do we want to raise? And how can I help? Like, how can I do it better? Because I'm saying bye to 150 now, and I'm saying hi to another 150 in September. And I want to make sure I'm doing my best for them. But that's at 10 episodes. I'm going to post these. I'm going to put something on social media. Hopefully, people listen to them. I did have a friend tell me, like, even if I talk to two or three people, that's a couple more relationships and, might help. I hope I get to talk to all 300 people. I hope everyone responds, or how I got to figure out how to do comments and stuff. But it's out there now. So I think I feel okay in where I'm at. I think I'm gonna do like a once a week episode where I just try and take notes on my life. But summer's coming, so my life's gonna change, and I probably won't mess with this that much unless people start talking. If people start talking about it, then I have more time in the summer to do it, and that'd be awesome. But if no one does, it'll probably be like a once a week thing for the hopefully few people I can get to talk about our kids and try to help me help them. Um, but that's it, I guess. If you listen to 10 episodes of this, like, thank you so much. Please help, please, reach out, help me help our kids. Let's build a relationship. If me and you are better friends, it's better for Rory and Dylan. I hope it's better for your kids too. But that's it. Thank you. I love you.